Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be talking to you about a devastatingly bad date that I recently went on with a very handsome gentleman who identified as a furry. Now I actually posted this video yesterday or a version of this video yesterday, and it became apparent very quickly that many people don't know what a furry is. So a furry is not a guy who's covered in like loads and loads of body hair. A furry is someone who identifies as another species, such as a wolf, a dog, a cat, a fox. Okay, now, in my defense, I did not know he was a furry. It wasn't until like 2 hours before my date that he contacted me and was like, there's something you should know before we meet up. And then he told me that he identifies as a lion called Leo. Now, I asked him, are you going to be coming to the date dressed as a lion? And he said, no, I'm not. And I can't show you his real picture because that would be rude. But this is an AI rendition or recreation or whatever of what he actually looks like. And as you can tell, he was pretty damn fine. He was actually so fine that I didn't think he was actually real. I thought he'd stolen somebody else's pictures and he was just catfishing me. But we've been chatting on a dating app for about a month. And he lived about an hour's drive away from me. Anyway, the point of all of this is I'd like to know, after you've watched this story or during watching this story, can you leave a comment down below? Because the types of conversations that he had with me were very, very strange. And I want to know, is this normal furry conversation? I've never been on a date with a furry before. I'm probably never going to go on a date with a furry again. But I'd like to know, are you a furry? Can you fill me in with regards to, is this normal? Cool. While you're down there commenting away, it would be amazing if you could hit the bell notification if you haven't already, because I'm starting to upload every single Friday. And I'd like to know that everybody that watches my video gets a notification. Also, while you're down there, hit the like button because it shows me that you care, and also tells the YouTube algorithm to share the love with other people. Now, without any further delay, let's move on with this horrific story. So, I've been chatting to a guy for about a month on a dating app. The guy's beautiful. He lives about an hour's drive away from me. He's got blonde hair, bright blue eyes, a very nice beard, and a very sexy hairy chest. And yeah, we've been chatting on a dating app for about a month. And he asked me if I'd like to go out on a date with him. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's meet up. I actually didn't think he was real. I thought he was a catfish. I thought he was someone that had stolen somebody else's pictures. And then when I got there, he wasn't going to be him. But anyway, about 2 hours before I was due to depart to go and meet him for coffee and cake, he contacted me and told me that there's something I should know about him and that he identifies as a furry. And a furry, he identifies as a lion called Leo the lion. And he likes to dress up in a costume and go to conferences and things like that. And I was like, well, whatever, man. I mean, I like Star Trek. I collect old Apple Macs. I do a YouTube channel. Like, everybody has their kinks or whatever. So I was like, yeah, fine. Like, I was like, are you coming to the date dressed as a lion? He was like, no. I was like, well, fine. Let's meet up and have coffee and cake. So I drove for the hour, met him outside a very expensive cake shop. We went inside, ordered some cake, and went and sat down. And we sat down on the last table, like closest to the window. So he sat facing me. He can see me and what's happening outside the window. I'm sat facing him, obviously. And I can see everything that's happening in the cafe behind him. Sat on this side is a mum and a dad with 2 small kids. Sat on this side is, just sitting down actually, is a group of sporty people. Like, they're all dressed in like sporty stuff and they're obviously going to go out and do something today, and this is probably their meeting place. So we sit down and we start to have a conversation, and the conversation goes along the lines of like regular stuff, like where did you study? What do you do for a living? Isn't the weather nice today? I can't believe it's so sunny. How long have you lived here? Who do you live with? And, it's all very nice, polite conversations. But eventually the main question came up, which was, how long have you been a furry? How did you get into that sort of thing? And he starts to tell me that when he was a teenager, he used to draw a lot. And he starts to show me these pictures on his phone of characters that he's drawn. And he's now 26, and he's showing me literally a library, a catalogue of all these different half human, half animal characters. They've all got different names and different backstories, and they've got different outfits that they wear. And the guy had so many on his phone. And then he shows me his character. His character is called Leo the Lion. And he starts to basically tell me about his character. And he's like, this is who I identify as. So originally it was a character, then he had the costume made. And now he's starting to identify as Leo the Lion. And I was like, okay, right, this conversation's getting a bit strange, but okay, whatever. I've got cake, I've got coffee, I'm still going to go with it. So yeah, he then starts to tell me that, when he's at home, he likes to dress up, or actually dress down. So he's got some Leo the Lion ears that he puts on and a tail, and he likes to be naked in the house and be as nature intended, like a naked lion. And I was like, okay. He's also got 3 cats, and he likes to think that they think of him as their king. At this point, I've noticed that the lady with the 2 kids on this table is looking at me. And she's looking at me side-eyed as if to be like, what is the conversation that is happening on your table? I can see it, it's written on her face. And I look back at her as if to be like, I have no idea, I'm just going with it. So the people over here, the sporting people, they haven't realised anything yet. They're just sort of still talking about whatever they're talking about, going out and being healthy. Turn back to Leo the Lion. And he's talking about the mating rituals of different animals, and how different animals spray their territory. He's also then starts to talk about animal genitalia, different sizes, shapes, and things like that. At this point, I look over at the mum over there with her husband and kids, and she's looking more disturbed now of the way this conversation's going. I have looked back over at the sporting people, and 2 of them have started to stare in my direction. I go back and look at Leo, and Leo is still talking about the mating rituals of different types of animals, spraying to mark their territory, fighting for dominance. And then he starts to talk about, he wishes, because he now identifies as a lion, he would like to be a lion because lions are dominant with each other, and you get one that's king, and they're dominant with all the other ones, and he would like to be dominant with lions, or let lions be dominant with him. And I'm looking at him and I'm going, are we talking furry lions or are we talking real lions? At this point, lady over here with her kids is going, come on kids, let's finish our cake, it's time to move on, let's go and do something different. Glance over here, this whole table now has stopped talking, and they are now all just blatantly staring at me. I then turn back to Leo, who is now talking about the size of lion penises, and saying that they are long and they are sharp, and long and pointy, and he believes that they would hurt. The last thing I heard him say is, my cat's penises are. And at that point, I went completely blank, paused for a moment, and then went, I'm really sorry, but I've got a terrible headache, and there's a pharmacy down the road, and I need to go and get some paracetamol. So I think that we should do this date at a time that's better, maybe on another day. So you stay here and drink your coffee and eat your cake, and I'm going to go and get some paracetamol, and maybe I'll see you another time. You have a great Sunday, Leo, okay? Alright, no, it's fine. Don't get up. It's alright. I can find my way out. Thanks, bye. And that's how my date with Leo the lion abruptly ended. He's never messaged me again, I've never messaged him again, and I don't plan to message him again at any time. If you like this video, then why not click the like button and let me know, and also if you like this video, then maybe you'll like one of the other ones that's showing up on your screen right now.